Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. On this very stage a few weeks ago, people have watched me talk about self-acceptance and my journey with self-love. On this very stage a couple weeks ago, people have voted for me as the official TED Club president, next to the Dr. Watson to my Sherlock Holmes, with Sarh Shadi as a vice president. Now, I gotta tell you, I have never been so thankful and so thrilled for being given such an incredible opportunity to improve not only my communication skills, but also my leadership and my teamwork skills. I have said it not only once, not only twice, and I will never stop saying it. I am so honored to be representing a group of very talented, motivated, and inspiring young people that I deeply appreciate and who never stop impressing me. The more I get to converse with them and the more I get to know them. Now, I feel like although it has only been like less than 5 months since I have joined this club, I've had the most enchanting moments of joy, laughter, sometimes even sorrow during each session, which was more of a therapy than a TED Talk session. Now, as you might know, this event is all about ideas worth sharing that are going to be passed to you, dear audience, through different monologues, duologues, duet speeches, and TED Talks. I therefore would like to address my most sincere acknowledgements to our 3 guests who took the time to come and watch us speak out about our different beliefs and ideas, and who are willing to share their thoughts back with us, either here or online. Now, before I sum up everything, I would like to introduce a very close person to our hearts. He is not only the most uncommonly understanding English teacher, not only this club's leader and supervisor, he's also a friend, a father sometimes, a big brother, and a therapist. He has not only been a giant help in making this event, but he has also helped us with our personal issues and help us overcome our fears and bloom into beautiful souls. He has helped us with our personal issues, either with words that comforted us or with valuable actions while listening to us, trying to make us feel worthy of his time. Please give a round of applause for Mr. Oussama Elkhamssi.
Hello. Thank you so much, Aya, for the lovely and scintillating curtain raiser speech, and for the witty introduction as well. Aya is indeed one of our best and brilliant TED speakers and assets as well. They say that acknowledgement speeches should go last. I mean, this has always been debated, but I just feel the urge of doing it right now because you really deserve acknowledgement. So I would like to start with all of you, students, the most deserving of thanks. Thank you for being who you really are. Thank you for being yourselves. Thank you for focusing on the goals and not the hurdles. Thank you for taking this seriously, honestly, even during these unprecedented and challenging times. Really, thank you, and you deserve a round of applause for that. I also would like to thank you for the family-like vibe you have created in this club. And hearing some of you saying that the weekly meetings are like therapy sessions is indeed heartwarming. And believe me when I say this, I feel likewise. Now, furthermore, I would like to extend my thanks to our dear guest speakers, honorable guest speakers. I would like to thank you for answering the call and for coming here to exchange your ideas with us, to impart your ingenious life experiences as well as any projects you've accomplished in the last years. Rob, Mr. Oussama, Ms. FatimaZahra are all like-minded people who are making a difference in their communities. Really, like seeing how, I mean, what you're doing, guys, you're doing it, and you're doing it out of love because you love what you're doing. You are each influencing people in your own ways and your own expertise. Thank you so much. And I would like to conclude with this really famous quote: never doubt that a small group of people, thoughtful individuals, committed citizens, can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And today, I'm proud to say that that group of individuals, committed individuals, are here. It's all of you. Thank you so much.
It is with the greatest pleasure that I now announce the TEDx second showcase event open. Now, of course, what is a TEDx event without a musical performance? So please welcome Shahd Ziati and Ryan Elkhamssi, who are going to perform a cover of Hello by Beyonce.
Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can feel your hello. You know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can feel your hello. Your pain won't fade away. I can feel your hello. Hey, loud, feel your hello. Hey, loud, feel your hello. Hey, loud.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shahd and Ryan, for your brilliant performance. However, ladies and gentlemen, may you have one of the greatest afternoons and welcome to our second TED event. Now today, words can hardly express my enthusiasm, happiness, and joy to stand here in this fascinating stage and in front of such an adorable audience, to indeed keep you company during a part of this showcase. My name is Miriam, and I'm one of your 3 presenters today, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy it as much as I do. Now, in order to start our event in a very positive basis, I'm gonna start by introducing one of our 3 honorable guests. His name is Lawless. Everything about his story started from a note he wrote on his phone on 2014. He promised himself that he was going to meet 10,000 people for 10 minutes each one in 1 year. Therefore, Rob said that his ability of meeting people is what will take him to where he wants to be. Now, due to some COVID-19 situations, he couldn't make it here to Morocco, but he made the effort to send us a video capsule. So I invite you guys please to pay attention. Thank you.
Was true even before the pandemic hit.
Rob Lawless set out to meet 10,000 new friends face-to-face to hear their stories. But as the world began to shelter in place, he took his quest online, traveling virtually around the world. Let's take a look at his journey.
Rob's 10K Friends is my personal mission to spend 1 hour one-on-one with 10,000 different people to learn about their lives. In the real world, it felt like you were only connecting for dating or for business purposes, and that everything had to have a defined outcome. I wanted to be able to connect with people authentically. Rob's 10,000 Friends started officially on November 11th, 2015. That was the date of my very first meeting. It really grew through word of mouth in the early days. I hope that after an hour, I know that person and they know me well enough that the next time we pass each other as friends as opposed to strangers. Prior to the pandemic hitting, I had met 3,259 people in person, face to face. This is something that I should take virtual. I want to hear other people's thoughts during this time, how the pandemic is impacting their lives. While I'm sitting in my room all day, every day, mentally, I'm all across the world.
I've met people from 57 different countries and 33 different states.
I'm seeing how geographically, even though it's different everywhere, the things that people want are all the same. At the very heart of it, everyone just wants connection. This time in particular, we're seeing the very simple human parts of people, like people just want to see their family. They just want to see their friends. People want to graduate from school.
I want to get back to seeing people.
There's so much positive that's come out of this time. Like, I've got to finally spend a lot of time with my family.
I mean, it's a new experience for everyone, but also like the newness is universal to all of us.
Something that was an idea written in an iPhone note in January of 2014 is now something that's allowing me to connect with people all over the world and hear their stories.
Greetings, Elaraki students. It's a pleasure to meet you all. This speech was supposed to be delivered to you there at your TED Ed Club, but I am sending it with warm wishes from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I hope you enjoy it. I want you to think for a moment, what's one thing that you could do every day for the rest of your life and never grow tired of? Hi everyone, I'm Lawless. And though I was supposed to be speaking with you from your stage there in Morocco, I am delighted to be doing so here from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the United States of America. 5 years ago, I discovered my passion, meeting new people. But not just a few new people, I set out on a mission to spend 1 hour, one-on-one, with 10,000 different people. And I've since then made this my full-time job. I've driven across the United States 6 different times. I've met everyone from doctors, to students, to artists, to celebrities, you name it. I've been featured on several different press sources, ranging from podcasts, to television shows, to radio shows, and to date, I've met over 4,000 people as part of my project. 5 years ago, I discovered my passion, and today, I would like to share with you how I did this and how I moved it forward. And I hope that at the end of this talk, you'll feel inspired to pursue your dreams as well. Now, fortunately for you, the formula for this only requires 3 steps. 1, define your passion. 2, start working on your passion. And 3, never stop working on it. You see, when I was in university, I followed a very traditional path. I come from a family where you are expected to go to school, get your degree, get your job, find your spouse, get married, have kids, buy a house. It sounds familiar, right? You see, I went to school, I studied finance, I found a girlfriend, and I landed a job as a consultant at Deloitte. However, the traditional part of my story stops there. When I worked as a consultant at Deloitte, I couldn't shake this feeling. I felt unfulfilled. I felt like I wanted more. When I was a student in university, I was involved in a bunch of different clubs and activities. I raised money for children with cancer. I built houses for those in need. I gave tours to prospective students of my university. As a result, even though I was 3 hours away from both my parents and my siblings, I felt my campus become a second home. I had created this amazing, warm environment thanks to this family of friends. Remember before the pandemic, that feeling of walking into a store and spontaneously just running into a friend? A big smile comes over your face, you immediately feel that sense of belonging, and your heart fills with joy. I felt this every single day on campus, as I passed my friends on the way to class. And as I worked as a consultant, isolated behind the 4 walls of my cubicle, I knew that this was a feeling that I wanted to recapture. I figured out my favorite simple pleasure was just meeting new people. And so I thought to myself, how can I turn this into a legitimate career path? Is it possible? By reflecting back on my life, I had defined my passion. And now all I needed to do was to start working on it. Without having a crystal clear idea of how I was going to do this, I created an Instagram account, Rob's 10K Friends, and I started reaching out to people to see if they would want to be part of it. Hi, my name is Rob Lawless, and I have this crazy idea to spend 1 hour one-on-one with 10,000 different people. Would you be interested in being one of the first 10? Fortunately, a few people responded, and though I was nervous, on November 11th of 2015, I met my first stranger turned friend over lunch in Philadelphia. Just like my university days, I felt that energy, that wave of joy come over me at having met a new familiar face in the city. And so I decided to press on. By this point, I had left my job as a consultant and started working as a sales rep at a tech startup. Had a little bit more free time, and so over the next 8 months, I met over 100 people after work or on the weekends or on my lunch breaks. Unfortunately, I did, because after that 8 months, in July of 2016, that company that I worked for, the tech startup, they were acquired, and as a result, I was laid off. So I decided to take my project full time. Now, I would like to take a moment here to recognize that at this point in my story, when I had decided to go full time, I had absolutely no idea how I was going to take this forward. I just knew that I enjoyed it. I knew that I felt energized by meeting new people, learning from them, and I liked the concept of what I was doing. And I started to notice, the more I did it, I started to notice this: that the sacrifices needed to push my project forward started to feel more and more like common sense. I'll say that again because I think it's important. The sacrifices needed to push my project forward started to feel more and more like common sense. I no longer wanted to go out and spend money on luxuries that I didn't need because I was more interested in pushing the project forward. $50 saved on a night out meant possibly another week or two of meeting new people, and to me, the idea of meeting new people was just more interesting. No, I wasn't having new clothes or wasn't having the latest gadgets, but what I did get were new perspectives on life. I heard about new musicians, I discovered new coffee shops, and I found out new ways of living that I'd never previously considered. And equally as important, I started to feel that university sense of fulfillment. I started to feel it creep back into my life. Now, when I started, I also didn't fully understand the challenges that I would face in my project. Challenges that were only going to be solvable through gaining experience. For example, when I started Rob's 10K Friends, I never anticipated having to learn the traffic laws of Los Angeles. But when my friend invited me to go live with him out there, they quickly became something that I needed to know. No parking on this street, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Mondays. No parking on that street from 10 a.m. to noon on Tuesdays. Over $300 in parking tickets later, I think I've got the hang of it now. But it was something that I needed to figure out, along with how I was going to be able to support myself financially. This again was just something I did not know when I decided to take the project full time. In the beginning, I figured, okay, well, I have this concept, I think people are going to be interested in it, and I'll just get brands whose values align with mine to sponsor me to help push this forward, and my audience will know that, hey, these are the brands that are supporting human connection. I figured I'd have so many wanting to sponsor me that eventually they would be competing over me. Turns out it's actually very difficult to get brands, 1, to sponsor you, and 2, to compete over you. I have yet to get to that point. But what I did realize as I pushed forward was that I didn't have to solely rely on brand partnerships. There were other things that I could do. I started to meet people like me who were going on these adventurous journeys, who were leveraging their stories to build careers as public speakers. I now aim to support myself through a mix. Partnerships, I plan to teach about my project, the art of human connection, and I plan to speak about it at universities and corporations. I never would have gotten to this point, though, had I not decided to start working on my passion. And that brings me to my third and final point. Once you start working on your passion, never stop working on it. I have a theory that our fears and doubts, they kick in way before we're actually in a big place of trouble, right? I felt this during the summer of 2018. I was living in Los Angeles again with my same friend, continuing to meet people, slowly watching my bank account dwindle. And I actually felt the weight of this on my shoulders. I felt that dwindling bank account every time I went to buy a cup of coffee or swipe my credit card at the gas station. I feared that if I eventually hit $0 in my bank account, that I would be known as a failure. However, as I approached $0 in my bank account, my mind started to think in different ways. It started to fire off in different directions. I took inspiration from Kid Cudi's song Up, Up, and Away. I told myself, the end is never the end. I really took a moment to sit back and think about it. What would happen if I ran completely out of money? I wouldn't have money, but what I did have was my finance degree. I still had my job at Deloitte that I could fall back on if I wanted to go back there. I still had a network of friends that, if necessary, I could reach out to and say, hey, does anyone know of any part-time or full-time opportunities? And at the very least, I could put out a message asking for donations until I got myself back on my feet. By not fearing $0 in my bank account, I allowed myself to understand that that didn't mean the end of the project. That simply meant a more inconvenient or a different path forward than I had initially anticipated. So with $500 to my name, I decided to press on, and less than a month later, I landed a partnership worth thousands of dollars that allowed me to continue working on my project through the end of the year. And less than a year after that, I was able to leverage one of my press pieces to land a 9-month partnership with the co-working space WeWork. By eliminating that fear from my life and attaching myself more to the action of meeting people, I bought myself time to pursue my passion, time to grow it and let it evolve. And to date, I have met, like I said, over 4,000 different people, and I have created some of the most memorable experiences that I've ever had in my life. I've been able to go to Hawaii for free, thanks to a flight attendant that I've met. I've been able to fly over the coast of San Diego in a plane that a guy had built himself because he was part of my project. I was able to go lobster diving off the coast of California with my friend Zach King. All of this because I never stopped working on that passion. And so I say to you today, when thinking about your passion, thinking about what you want to pursue in your life, reflect back on what brings you daily happiness, what you could do every day for the rest of your life and never grow tired of. Because you're going to need that motivation, that dedication to make it through the ups and downs. But if you do find that thing, that simple pleasure, and that idea, that passion that you want to take forward with it, start working on it and never stop working on it. Thank you very much for having me. I hope to meet you all in person someday. It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you and stay safe.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I very much enjoyed the speech and I found it very much interesting. Also, I have some very good news for you. Apparently, Mr. Rob is planning a trip to Morocco to meet you guys, Elaraki student. And he's planning on having an online meeting with us, TED Club participants. Now, moving on to our brilliant speakers, starting with a Common Core student. Her passion is sharing awareness about serious matters, such as self-love and how to make a good life and how we should spend it seeking for happiness. She mostly wants her voice to be heard, and that is why she is here. Now, please make some noise for Aya Kundah.
Good afternoon. I remember the first thing we did in this club was talking about our passions, as the teacher asked us to do. And I remember thinking and telling myself that I don't have one. And I became highly frustrated, trying so desperately to find one. Then the teacher told us that the truth is, everyone has one. It's just hidden deep down our heart, mind, and soul, and we just gotta find it. And that's exactly what I did. I dug deeper into my heart to find the thing that makes it beat faster and the thing that drives me crazy. And I found out that my passion is standing here today on this stage to articulate my opinions and make my voice heard. Think about something you feel passionate about, something you believe in, something that matters to you and to all of us. It could be anything. imagine if you shared that idea, that opinion, how would that make you feel? What impact would that make on other people? And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here today. I'm trying to share awareness about a bunch of things going on in our toxic society and how badly they affect us. We live in a cruel world where we are encouraged to compare ourselves to others. And as soon as we do this, we start living smaller lives that have absolutely no meaning behind it. You start existing instead of living, just to please the others that have no right telling you what to do or what to think, how you should act or how to dress. We start defining our worth by how we look or how much we eat or even by our grades, which is totally heartbreaking because no matter how much you try, people come and crush you with their useless negative opinions. Words can be either devastating or can bring you happiness and boost your confidence and self-esteem. So make sure to choose wisely what comes from your mouth because you never know what that person could be going through and you never know how it could possibly affect them. Be the person you want to become rather than the person you were told to be. Being yourself is your biggest power because everyone is different and everyone is perfect in their own way. And you should never settle for something less than you deserve. And you should always put yourself and your happiness first no matter what. Some of you may think it's selfish, but it's not because we only live once. So make sure to work hard for your dreams, follow your passion, and find your own happiness. And make sure to surround yourself with happy people and cut toxic people out of your life and find and look for what makes you a better person. And when you finally reach self-love, you can take that love and pour it into other people's life and spread kindness around because a beautiful soul is the best thing that could ever exist, better than a face or body or even a huge bank account that could easily fade away. You should determine your own happiness and define your own worth rather than follow those stupid standards that society wants you to be part of. That society wants you to be part of. The relationship you have with yourself is the most important. How do you accept to give love if you can even give love to yourself first? And the relationships that you have in your life are also very important. Ask yourself, are they adding value to you? Are they helping you grow into the person you want to become? And ask yourself, if you know your worth, are you adding value to you? Loving yourself is not only about looking in the mirror and thinking how pretty you are and delivering yourself in a way to act or look as you think others think you should after starving yourself and completely losing yourself. Living your life the way you want to is the greatest choice you could ever make in your life. Life is so short. You should do whatever you want without thinking about what the others may think or their opinions or even their judgments and everything. Life is so short. You should tell the people you love how much you love them because you never know when they could die or won't stay by your side, and they won't stay by your side forever. And sadly, this pandemic has already proven this to us. So live your life wisely. Follow your dreams and your passion and where your heart leads you to. And do something that you will enjoy for the rest of your life. And know that life is a roller coaster full of ups and downs. So you should never lose hope. So be bold, be free, be happy, and above all, be you. Thank you.
Thank you, Aya, for your speech. I couldn't agree more. That was pretty much brilliant. Now, moving on to another Common Core student. Her passion is to succeed in her life. Thus, she is today here to give a speech about independence and how a girl should be independent in her life. Now, please welcome Siham Tergawi.
Hello, everyone. Days and days passed without me really knowing where is the purpose of all this life. Why would I wake up every day, go to school, spend hours and hours studying? This infernal loop has become so prevalent that I started to consider it as a simple routine, which I do without thinking about it anymore. Each time I ask my friends about their vocations in the future, they usually have clear answers and views. Some of them may say, I want to be a lawyer. I love defending innocent people. Others claim, I want to pursue my studies at med school and become a famous doctor. At that moment, I was feeling completely lost. I didn't have an idea about what mine is going to look like. Until one day, that special day, when I stopped caring either I'm gonna be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or whatever. That day, I took an oath to myself. I said, it is true. I don't know what the future holds for me. No one does, by the way. But I was confident that my independence is the only thing that worth all this life. I can remember one day my father told me, you know, I will always be there for you. But if I've been raising my daughter to become a strong woman in the future, and then suddenly she ends up being dependent on someone else, whether it is emotionally or financially, sorry, but I am no longer your father. You know what? I agree with him. I don't blame him for what he said. Let me give you a concrete example. Tell me the first thing that doctors do after delivering. They cut the umbilical cord. It is basically this navel chain that connects the baby to its mother. Our Mother Nature has made the first thing that the new human do, before even knowing what is going on around him and who are these people wearing blue aprons, is seeking for his independence. Thus, being independent does not mean being selfish, egocentric, or isolated. It is just a primitiveness which we all born with. We can imagine it as a diamond hidden deep in our soul, and our mission in this life is to discover it. So, what are you waiting for? Go dig out your diamond and let it shine to the world. Thank you.
Moving on to the next speaker. She had a pretty tough year this week, yet she wanted today to spread happiness around you with her motivational speech. Please welcome Marim Widaji.
Hello guys, dear friends. Dear friends, you know, since I was a little girl, I always wanted to help people in a way or another. And I really didn't care about the bad consequences that my behaviors can lead me to. But once I grew up, I saw that people need more mental help than materialistic one. I saw that people need someone to hear them, someone to be with them, and someone to give them affection. However, a couple days ago, the world decided to take from me a loved one. The world decided that it was time for me to keep moving in life without the closest person to my heart. The world decided that it was time for that person to watch over me from another beautiful place up there. You know, it's not easy for me. And if I'm here today, it is majorly caused by all the motivation I received from that person. Losing someone is the biggest struggle of life, but I made from my hardest struggle and my biggest fear, my motivation, and my strength to move forward. So guys, you know, everything I touch, everything I feel, everything I remember, and everything I think of reminds me of how good my grandmother was in this world. It reminds me of how inspiring she was. It reminds me of how motivating she has always been. And what I want to tell you guys is that sometimes life is not easy, but you have to keep moving on. Never get stuck in your past. And especially remember that we don't learn from our success, but from our failure. And move on, keep moving on. And then, guys, I want to highlight the fact that you should always find a solution to your problems. you should always find a solution to solve them, to get over them. Never get, to get over them. And guys, you know, sometimes you're artistic not to show our weakness, but to discover our strength. And now, to discover our strength. And guys, what I want to tell you is sometimes you're gonna cry, you're gonna be hurt, and you're gonna fall. But remember that when we fall, we get up. And when we cry, we smile. And remember that life is not easy, and it's never gonna be easy. It is what it is. But you don't have something to do. Just keep battling with life. And guys, you know, standing here today, doing my speech, talking to you, is not that easy for me. And I thought about giving up. Giving up when realizing one of my dreams. And then I remembered that life gives us sometimes only one chance. It is now or never. So if I'm here today, it is to transmit my message to all of you. Guys, enjoy each moment with your loved ones. Never let a little problem separate you from your loved ones. And, from your loved ones, and just keep going. You know, I always tell my friends, all that is difficult is something inaccessible for the majority. It is accessible for only the one who has patience. And something that is inaccessible from the majority is something unique. So something unique, and something unique is something beautiful. So, guys, keep going, keep battling. If you are passing by hard times, by pain days, by mental breakdown days, just keep going because you are on the right way. Be patient and you'll get what you deserve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reem, for spreading positivity today on our event. Now, moving on to another girl. She is a very funny one, a talented girl. Yet she's here today to speak about the importance of family in her speech. Please make it out for Aya Mutasdeq.
Did you wish your parents a good morning today? You know, having parents who support you, who listen to you, and who are there for you when the going gets tough in every form of the meaning is something that is truly special. Parents are the ones who have been there for you since day one. They are the ones who supported you, who made you laugh, who endured your whims. Except that at our age, we tend to want to cut ourselves off from the world, to be alone, to enjoy our own company. We tend to want to discover ourselves and who we really are, which causes us to be unpleasant from time to time. I know it's unfortunate, but I think that arriving at a certain point, we can no longer hold back. Believe me, it has nothing to do with ingratitude or whatever. It's just a really hard phase that we pass by. The only thing we really want is to be understood, not judged. Sometimes it drives us to depression, which is not as easy as it seems. Some people committed suicide due to this. I wish things were different, but we still can do something against it. I just want to tell you guys to enjoy your parents' company while there is still time. Life is short. We will never know when our time is up. But all I can say for now is to enjoy every single second by their side. Life is short. Family is forever, where happiness begins and love never ends. I want you to enjoy every single second by their side. I want you to be thankful whenever your mom prepares you a meal you like, whenever your dad teaches you something new. I want you to visit your grandparents whenever you can, and keep your relationships with your uncles, aunts, and cousins going. And before I quit this amazing stage, I want to leave a little message to my parents. I just want you to know that I love you so much, and that I just want you to be proud of me, even if I don't say it too much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aya, for sharing with us those amazing family pillars. Now, moving on to the next one. She is a very talented girl, not the best mathematician, but one of the best. Our piano prodigy, wearing a bright smile on her face, is going to talk today about the secret of happiness. Now, please make some noise for Rita Sharqawi.
What a hard thing to be happy, especially these days. I feel so lame in my cheap shoes, wearing this non-fancy jeans and this casual shirt, riding a bike to go home while fancy cars pass by me, using an old phone. You know, I really envy this cool girl from school with her Louis Vuitton shoes, her Fendi sports bra, using a really expensive phone, and while everybody liked her, I could not fit in. Well, this is what I would say many years ago before I knew that she was not happy. You might be confused just as I was, but did you know that she didn't see her parents as often as you do, and that they didn't give her much attention that she deserves? And while she was crying on her bed, feeling lonely, I, on the other hand, would enjoy a meal with my family. You know, though our stomachs wouldn't always be full, our hearts would never starve from love and happiness. But then, what is the secret of happiness? Well, it is whatever you want it to be, as long as it leaves no room for sadness. You might think that it's slipping between your fingers, that you didn't find it yet. But know that happiness isn't hiding from you. It's just waiting for you to find it. And whoever said it's easy has lied. It ain't easy. But first, you have to look inside and remember the code that the Buddha wrote 2,000 years ago and that I believe still applies till now. Happy people focus on what they have, while unhappy people focus on what's missing. You know, I really envy this cool guy from my school. He's always happy, wearing a priceless smile on his face with his small group of friends. But then, why is he happy? Well, maybe that's because he found the secret of happiness, or should I say, his secret of happiness. You know, your happiness matters to me because maybe my happiness does matter to someone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. You made us all speechless. You made us all speechless because of your confidence on stage and your happiness. Now, the next one is very much passionate about psychology, and she believes that we live among many mysteries. Among those mysteries is the brain, and so this is what she's going to be talking about today. Please make it up for Shad Ziati.
To those who haven't met me yet, hi. To those who have met me, hi. I'm Shahziyati, and I've always had this fascination towards the brain since I was just a little girl. I've always been interested in what goes on inside of our minds, how and why. This never-ending curiosity is what made me stand up here in front of you today to talk about a thing that makes my heart beat faster, my passion and my fascination. And I really hope I either bring you something new that you would be interested in too, or you can just understand and relate to my excitement today. So the other day I was talking to a friend of mine, and we started talking about how brains work and all the things that we don't know. And they said, what if we can know? We just haven't found a way yet. So being the curious Homo sapien that I am, I went ahead and did some digging and researched, and found out that we only use 10 to 13% of the brain. And I just think that's too little. So to give you some examples of how the brain is already amazing, I will go ahead and tell you some things. So there's a split personality. It's a mental disorder in which one person, one human, can have multiple personalities living inside of their heads. After some kind of trauma that they unfortunately had to go through, their brain, to protect itself, makes multiple personalities to share that emotion with the broken kid. If that doesn't make you already interested in it, allow me to give you some more. As a quick warning, I just want to say that I would like to say abilities instead of illnesses, because I don't think these people are ill. They're just really brave and superheroes for what they had to go through. Psychopathy and sociopathy. The ability not to have any emotions, or not to feel empathy or sympathy. The brain does that to protect itself again. The law of attraction. This fascinates me so much, and I will tell you why. The fact that you can make anything happen in your life if you believe in it just enough makes me think I'm the main character in a sci-fi movie. And that leads us to our last, but definitely not least example, which would be reality shifting. The name speaks for itself. You can shift realities. You can meet that person you've always wanted to meet, talk to that person you've always looked up to, and just write your own movie and live it in your desired reality. I really hope I explained this well enough and I'm not looking like a kid who just got candies for breakfast. So anyways, as I've said before, the brain is a place full of wonders, and even after 7 million years of existence on Earth, we still don't understand it fully. So hear me out. What if our generation will be the one who will finally complete everything and we will finally understand it all? Where and what is the last 87%? Thank you.
Thank you, Shad, for your brilliant speech. Now moving on to the next one. She is a very confident girl, and she is here today because she wants to make her voice heard. She's going to talk about feminism, so please welcome very loudly Rita Al-Mazouli.
There's this misconception that states feminism is a movement that brings down the male community to lift up the female one. That it is a movement led by a bunch of old women that just want to be better than men in any way possible. So let me educate you a little bit on the actual meaning behind the word feminism. Feminism is the belief in full social, economical, and political equality for women. The word feminist means the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes, which basically means equality between women and men on all aspects. However, the reason why, whenever someone is talking about feminism, all they mention is about women is simply because now and always, men were the most privileged. Now let me explain that point a little bit more by comparing the same actions done by each sex. The odds for a man to encounter sexual harassment on the job or anywhere else are very low compared to those of a woman. A man is not taught to fear walking alone at night, while a woman has to fear about that from a very young age. Trust me, I can't even go out to the grocery store if it's dark outside. If a man chooses not to have children or get married, his masculinity will not be questioned in any way. While if a woman did that, she will be immediately judged by everyone around her. I believe you can notice the difference already. So why are men so against feminism? As some of you guys might know, the first wave of feminism formally began at the Seneca Falls Convention in 1848, when 300 women and men realized to the cause of equality for women. And guess what? Sometime after that, the modern men's rights movement appeared in 1970s. I guess you can get what I'm trying to say. You see, the MRM, men's rights movement, was described as misogynistic as it was considered backlash against feminism. It was also labeled as hateful and violent. In fact, the members of the movement were doing everything in their might to stop the Feminist Act. Some went as far as to commit mass murder and murdered a group of feminists that did nothing wrong. Some sent death and rape threats to feminist writers online. You see, ladies and gentlemen, men have always been afraid of losing their spot to a woman. They're afraid that women might overpower them one day. And as the famous author Shima Manza once said, we teach girls to be successful, but not too much. To be ambitious, but not too much. Otherwise, they'll threaten men. All we're asking for is to be treated the same way men are, All we're asking for is equality between the sexes. All we're asking for is to be respected. Is that too much to ask? Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. We love a confident girl, a feminist girl like you. However, now moving on to the next one, she is the mom of our group, a baccalaureate student, passionate about martial arts and anything related to helping people find their issues and understand themselves. Now here today, she's going to talk about mental issues. So please welcome very loudly Salma Al-Mukhtatif.
Good evening. It is an odd paradox that a society which can speak openly and unabashedly about topics that were once unspeakable still remains silent when it comes to mental illness. Glenn Close. When talking about health, we're addressing it as a state of complete social, physical, and mental well-being, which means we can't judge a person's health based on one dimension only, because the three terms coexist together, arising a misproportion in a person's health status due to the omission of one of them, which leads us to the big title of today: Mental Health is the Etymology of a Blooming Life. In a world ruled by sterile opinions, empty minds, and where people's eyes are branded by the dust of ignorance, mental health remains a stigma, and it's mainly related to cultural and social aspects. The lattice induces us not seeking help and care, which leads to chaos in our mental well-being, represented in many forms that we are unaware of, or at least should I say, we pretend to. For example, a lot of you guys be toasting around with, yeah, I have daddy issues, or yeah, I have mommy issues, when it's actually an Oedipus or Electra complex. And it's hard seeing how these terms aren't an official medical term or recognized illness. It is often the fruit of an absent or abusive parent during our childhood moment, which I consider to be the path that outlines the fine and crucial steps of who we really are now. So, to say that someone has daddy or mommy issues is a somewhat rude way to minimize females' and males' anxious attachment styles, as well as a humiliating way of alluding to a very understandable longing. This longing can incline us to some very tricky patterns of behavior. For instance, we'll be looking for daddies in friendships, in teachers, at work, and the list goes on. The danger is these daddies may, and certainly will, hugely damage us. For it isn't anyone's responsibility to assuage the sort of longing we bring to bear on them. They may know very well what we crave and cynically promise to provide it for us. But as soon as we wake up from that hypnosis, we stand to realize that they had thousands of flaws like we all do. As the writer R.H. Sen said, it wasn't love, just heavy manipulation. In addition to that, having daddy issues is objectifying yourself to seek male validation and feel safe while still being afraid of man. It's having separation anxiety and needing that constant reassurance in your relationships. It's feeling like everyone's presence in your life is temporary and that they'll leave eventually. It's developing independence and loneliness as a coping strategy because you think you're better off alone. Now that you know that, go ahead. Laugh at her. Call her needy. Call her pathetic. Tell her she has daddy issues. But know that when you laugh, you're laughing at a 4-year-old girl who woke up to her daddy gone because he didn't love her enough. You're laughing at a tear-stained face because she heard her best friend's dad call her his little princess. You're laughing at a missing part and a lost soul that will never connect again. You're laughing at a child whose heart was broken by the only man who's supposed to love her forever. You're laughing at an 8-year-old who was hated, bullied, and kicked out from society because she didn't have a dad. Yet, we dare to call ourselves educated, cultivated, open-minded, and civilized. What an extreme level of hypocrisy. Thank you.
Thank you, Selma, for your brilliant speech. Now, we're gonna move to something very special. Singing and music are my type of adrenaline. Those were the words coming out of a very talented girl's mouth. She is going to make us travel to a whole other world today with her brilliant musical performance. Now, please make some noise for Iman Muflih.
When you were here before, 'cause I look you in the eye, you're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You flow like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so very special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, oh, she's running out. She's running out again. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
Well, hi everyone. As you can tell, I'm not just a singer, I'm also a speaker. Well, today I am standing in front of you with a paper in my hand. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. As you can tell, I just cut this paper into tiny little pieces. Well, if I tell any one of you to gather these pieces into a whole brand new paper, you're gonna probably think of 3 possibilities. She's dumb, she's stupid, or she's dumb. Well, my answer to you in that case will be, I choose a piece of paper today to represent us, humans, men or women, children or adults. Well, when I first cut the first piece of this paper, it didn't stop me from cutting it. So I kept cutting until the last final piece. I achieved my goal that the paper is broken, it can be fixed. Well, but Iman, we're not in a wonderland, we're not in a land where pieces of paper talk. The paper can't tell you to stop. Remember when I told you that this paper represents humans? Us, who certainly have an activity, something that just gives us that flying in the air or taking a hot shower in a winter night feeling, something that we like to do. Maybe an amusement, maybe a talent, or maybe a hobby. Pessimism and negativity will try to break you just like that paper. They will try to see you fall apart, to see you quit, to see you let go, and to say the famous, I don't have the potential to do it. I can't do it. I'll probably give up. Well, guys, we won't do this. We don't do this here. Fight for it. Resist it. Don't quit that easily. Because if you quit, those people will achieve their goal and they will break you down. So you will simply give up. Well, let me talk to you now a bit more about myself. Personally, I have a talent that became by time more of a passion. As you can tell, it's singing. I'd always sing in the bathroom, shower, kitchen, classroom sometimes, which had caused me problems earlier. But I can't help it, come on. I knew people who criticized my voice. People who haven't always told me that I have a great voice. Well, I knew people who tried to put me down and tried to make me take the same path as that paper right here, with their pessimistic sayings, opinions, or thoughts. But I fought for it. I resisted it. Because when we love something or someone, we hold on to it. We never give up. We break once, we break twice, but we get up and we retry again. So I broke once, I broke twice, and I got up. And here I am, standing in front of you, doing what I like to do, what I love doing, singing. Singing just gives me that, just gives me my freedom. It just gives me too many feelings that can't be described. It brings out all of the emotions that were hidden really deep in my heart. Singing and music make me who I am. Thank you.
I have goosebumps all over my body due to your singing an amazing speech, so thank you for that. Now, going back to our amazing speakers and brilliant speeches, starting with a 15-year-old girl. She hasn't chosen a career path yet, just like me. Yet, today, she's giving a speech about that, and so I want you all to welcome very loudly Kenza Ghannan.
Good evening, everybody. Here's my question to you. Do you guys have dream jobs? If you do, raise your hand, just so. Okay, good for you. I have no idea. I have no idea. I do not know what to do. I keep thinking about it, and I can't make up my mind because there are far too many choices. I am 15, and I can't count on like 1,000 hands how many times I've been asked, what do you want to be later on? It's understandable. I'm 15. I am close. It's my first year in high school, and by this time in my life, I'm supposed to know what I want to do. But I don't. I genuinely have no idea. So for a little bit of leverage context, I am going to walk you through my path to figuring out my dream job. So it all started out when I was pretty much a baby. So up until I turned 10, I always wanted to be a doctor, a pediatrician to be exact. My mom is a doctor, my dad is a doctor, I love helping out people, and I love kids, so it made perfect sense in my head to be a pediatrician. I used to even pretend to be a pediatrician with my family. And then I learned that actually being a doctor takes 14 years, and I'm not ready for that, so I eventually gave up. And then I thought about being maybe a designer. My grandma is very interested and very good in everything that comes to designing and is a very good seamstress. So it made perfect sense to me. I mean, I love it. It's fun, it's creative. It allowed me to unleash my creative side, and I thought that it was really good. But then I realized that I cannot draw. So I left that idea. And then I grew up a little bit, and I read this really interesting book called The Devil Wears Prada. And that book inspired me to become a journalist that works in a fashion magazine, to be exact. It was really fun. It sounded amazing. I love writing. I love sharing my opinion. And like I said earlier, I love design. So it made perfect sense. And then my family wasn't really happy with that choice, so I let it go. Now I am starting to think that engineering sounds like a good choice, but also far too much work, and I'm not ready for that. So I still do not know. I don't know what I'm going to be later on, but I do know one thing. Doing what you love is the key to succeeding in your life. Doing what you love guarantees you happiness and fulfillment in your life. Doing what you love is the only way for you to be happy in your life. Do what you love and you won't have to work a day in your life. You don't owe anybody anything. Don't let anybody pick your life for you. It's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to feel sad and lost and not know what to do. But the key is to not let that get to your head and not let anybody decide for your future for you. Your pride, your enjoyment, your happiness is yours and nobody else's to rejoice in. And how are you to enjoy them if you serve your life to other people on a silver platter? So if, like me, you don't know what you're going to do later on, then come over and we'll both be clueless about it.
Thank you, Kenza, for your amazing speech. Now, moving on to one of our rarest boys on this club. He is the vice delegate of he's the vice president of the school's delegate committee, and he is a very funny yet serious guy. Now, please welcome Mehdi Nasiri.
So, lately I've been thinking and I realized that nothing in life is really worth it until you take risks. Nothing. One day Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found settling and playing small for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." I'm sure that all along your scholarship, and even after that, people have told you to always have something to fall back on. But I never understood that concept of having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I want to fall forward. At least I'm going to see where I'm going to hit. Denzel Washington said that without consistency, you will never finish. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. You know there is an old IQ test where you had 9 dots and you had to draw 5 lines within the 9 dots. And the only way to achieve that was to go outside the box. So never be afraid of thinking outside the box. Never be afraid of dreaming big, of failing big. But never forget that dreams without goals are nothing more than that, dreams. Reggie Jackson, a baseballer, struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you will never hear about the strikeouts because people remember the home runs. Even Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments, and only the 1,001st was the light bulb. You have to know that every failed experiment is one step closer to success, so you've got to take risks. Taking Denzel Washington and acting as an example, where you fail all the time. Early in his career, he auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for him, he thought, except for the fact that he can't sing. He didn't get the job. But you know what? He didn't quit. He didn't fall back. He got out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. He prayed, and he prayed, but he continued to fail again and again and again, but it didn't matter to him because you know what? There is an old saying, if you hang around the barber shop long enough, sooner or later you will get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and he did catch a break. One year, he did a play called Fences on Broadway. But here is the kicker. It was at the Court Theater. It was at the same theater when he failed that first audition 30 years ago. The point is, every person here has the training and the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail? If you don't fail, you're not even trying. Let me say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To have something you never had, you have to do something you never did. And I know this is probably not a traditional message in a TED Talk or school event, but you will fail at some points in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something, and there is no doubt about it. But embrace it, because it's inevitable. So imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around it are the ghosts of the talents you wasted, the ghosts of the ideas you never acted on, the ghosts of your unfulfilled potential, and they are standing around your bed angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you today because you could have brought us to life, but now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be standing around your bed when your time comes? Thank you.
Thank you, Mehdi, for your amazing speech. And I wish I were as brave as you are to come here and talk about you taking risks. Now, moving on to a very confident and talented girl. She is in fact, obsessed with drawing, yet she's here today to share with you guys her amazing 2 secrets to make a speech better. She's the vice president in our club, and so please make some noise for Wissal Hashadi.
Upon getting on stage and giving whatever I had to say on scene, some of my friends will come over to me later and ask me, wow, that's nice. How do you do it? How can you not stutter? Teach me. And well, each time, after giving my sincere thanks, I couldn't really give a fine answer to that, at least to me. And this left me unsatisfied and left a sour taste in my mouth. I don't know, is what I thought to myself. And I hated it. Because if I don't know, then who's gonna know? So I went into a little research within myself and dived deep into my memories so I get to know Wissal even better. So starting with a handshake and a little chatty chat, it went something like this. Now picture it. 2 things, 2 keys that make whatever you say sound legit. Get started. 2009. A child at the age of 5 is waiting for the parents at the dry cleaners. And while staring at the void and whatever happened to pass by, the child's eyes happened to meet the side of the palm of their hands. And while looking at each line that is engraved there, the child thought, wow, it's crazy how I'm made of these little lines that repeat themselves in a certain pattern that make me me. It's crazy how I exist without acknowledging. It's as the whole universe didn't care if I knew it or not. If I am to be, I am. And that child was me. And so I wanted to know it better. And as immature and as childish as 5 years old sounds, the amazement that I got by that little event pushed me to look more within the depths of beings. And it got me into drawing. I don't know what's that either. So whenever I met someone new or saw a celebrity, I would always take a great close look at their features so that they would stick in my mind. So whenever I want to draw a new character, I always try it by the different mixes that I can get by different features. So almond eyes, big nose, small lips, round face, and voila, I got a new character that I didn't know existed, but they did. Now, through all of this, did you notice something? Breaking points I love drawing. Wow, would it be the second, third, 600, 680 time I talk about it, I will never get bored. I would love to share with someone understanding, like you, dear audience. And now it's becoming as clear as ice that the first key is passion. And if you notice something else, the time span between 2009 and now is 12 years. And as young as I am, that's more than half of my life that is spent drawing. And obviously, I wasn't good at it since day one. I did it for fun. I did it because I loved it. It wasn't for showing off or a competition. Hell, I was an introvert, actually. Until suddenly, it started getting good. At the age of 11, 12, 14, 16. Oh, well. Be in no hurry. Don't rush. Take things very slowly. Be patient. As Feynman, one of the greatest physicians out there in history, said, you ask me if an ordinary person, by studying hard, would get to imagine the things like I do. Of course. I was an ordinary person. I was an ordinary person as well, who studied hard. Patience, patience. Be patient and passionate, and spring would surely come, my friend.
Thank you, Wissal. We are so grateful to have you as the vice president of our club. Now, moving on to the next girl. She is a 50-year-old girl, passionate about philosophy and the meaning of life. And so today, her speech is going to be about that. Now, please welcome very loudly Malak Nuzri.
In crisis of health, suppose I pitched my foot against a stone and was asked how the stone came to be there. I might possibly answer that for anything I knew to the contrary. It had lain there forever, nor would it be very easy to show the absurdity of this answer. But suppose I have found a watch upon the ground, and it should be inquired how the watch happened to be in that place. I might, that for anything I knew, the watch might have always been there. Yet, why this answer not serve? Why should not this answer not serve the watch as well as for the stone? Why isn't it admissible in the second case as in the first? For this reason, and for no other, when I come to inspect the watch, I perceived what I could not discover in the stone. That its several parts are framed and put together for a purpose, and that they are so formed and adjusted as to produce motion. And that motion so regulated as to point out the hour of the day. When we ask whether something exists, we expect a yes or no answer, not a further query about what kind of existence, how much of it, whether we mean existence for you or existence for me. In the course of this pursuit, such questions arise. What's the meaning of life? A person can spend a lifetime trying to answer such an intriguing, tricky question because of its hidden premise that life has a meaning. A perfectly irrational, if discomforting position given by Nietzsche, that someone in the mindset of living is not in a position to discern whether life has a meaning or not. But if we choose to ignore the difficulties of evaluating a condition while inside it, perhaps someone has to ask a prior question. What's the meaning of the meaning? Is meaning always identical with the purpose? And here we are on an endless maze. I would rather prefer to offer a simplistic answer to a possible interpretation of our question. What makes a life meaningful is not the mere of living of a life, but reflecting on the living of the life. Even the most reflective among us get caught up in pursuing ends and goals. We want to become more fitter. We want to get jobs with desire. We seek love, money, friends. All those goals-oriented pursuits are not meaningful in themselves. What makes a life filled with them, either significant or insignificant, is why one pursues those goals. This is second-order reflection. Reflection on why one lives the way one does, but puts one in a position to say that one's life has a meaning. Ladies and gentlemen, the meaning of life may never be definitely known, but I cannot deny that we all have the opportunity and responsibility of consciousness. With our intellect comes curiosity, combined with the means to understand complex problems. Then we can at some point contemplate the meaning of life. While I'm leaving this stage, I don't want my speech to be forgotten. I want my words to get stuck in your brains. I want my voice to echo in your heads. I want each single one of you to wake up in the morning and look at the mirror and ask themselves, why do I exist? What makes my life worth living? What are my purposes? Because that, and only that, makes a life meaningful. Thank you.
Now, moving on to one of the rarest boys as well. He is pretty much confident, and he's going to talk today about passion in general related to careers. Now, please welcome very loudly, Omar Leddaj.
Now, believe me when I say I prepared what I'm talking about today 2 days ago. I've been the whole time busy being lazy, procrastinating, making up excuses to my teacher who I owe an apology to not give any speech. Now, when I think about it, I really don't have any real reason behind my refusal. The first theme was about passion. Give a 2 to 3 minute long speech where you share with your comrades your passion. What is a passion? At first, I didn't know what my passion was. I mean, not like if I know now, but I didn't know how to know, if that makes sense. What am I passionate about? How can I know my passion? What am I passionate about? How can I know my passion? The more I searched, the more convinced I was that passion is neither a job nor a hobby. It's a feeling, giving your full attention to something you find interesting, usually to do, and that you might not anymore next day, next month, or next year. We get so anxious when we get asked that question of, what are you passionate about? But why? Because we relate it to the meaning of what do you want to be in the future, which is half correct, but also half incorrect. Because we at this age have so many opportunities that we don't know of. So many other chances, things we never knew of, things we never thought of. And so, don't get me wrong in this one, because I'm not saying that you can't or shouldn't make what you are the most passionate about, your job or your career in the future. What I'm saying is that you shouldn't make it your only choice or your only option. Now, let me give you an example. I want to be a businessman in the future. I don't consider it as my only option. Also, I'm not the most passionate person about businesses in general. Companies, investments, etc. Now, as I'm saying this, I might be something else in the future. I might be an engineer. I might be a doctor, which I doubt. I might be an architect. Who knows? Now, bear in mind one thing. What I'm trying to say here is that the thing you love, the thing that you are the most passionate about now, is not really always what's going to make your career in the future or what's going to make your future. What I'm saying is that you should explore more opportunities. Passion is a feeling, as I said before, which means that who knows, in the future you might not find the same interest in what you did long ago. You might find other things interesting You might get attached or give attention to new things, explore new opportunities. Things can still be discovered within yourselves, things you never thought you would love. And as Sarah Trespicio once said in her speech, if you're so busy looking for that passion, you might miss the opportunity of your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar, for your brilliant speech. Now, moving on to a baccalaureate student, a very talented guy, an artist and a music producer, the portrait crochet of a nerd, yet he is well known of his humor and dark sarcasm. Now, I want you, please, to welcome very loudly Ahmed Awab.
Odd question, but do I exist? Yes, no? Some of you might say I exist because you can see me. Some of you might say because you can hear me. But let me tell you that senses are actually deceptive. See, I'm not even talking in the microphone. And the problem is that that's not even me. Here I am. Hi. I'm the real Awab this time. As I said, senses are actually deceptive. This is something I've been meaning to talk about. For example, let's take this curtain, for example. If I ask you what color, you would certainly say it's red. Yeah, of course, we both know it's red, but I can't actually know how you see it and how exactly you see it. And according to the famous French philosopher Descartes, who said, you know, I think, I doubt, therefore I am. Now, the French philosopher Descartes says that senses are actually deceptive. And he gave the example that if I look through the window and I see people just walking, how can I be so sure that these people are not robots? How can I be, or for example, if I see a mannequin sitting somewhere, I would think it's a person. Then after a while, I would be like, why is he still there? And then after a while, I start doubting and thinking, and that's what, and my ability to doubt and to think is what makes me exist. It's what makes me exist. And according to Descartes, our senses are deceptive, and therefore I cannot know what you guys think, how you see, how you hear, what is inside of your head. And that's where a very interesting theory comes. It's the main character theory. What if all of us guys, what if you and you and you, Mr. Oussama, and you, Miss FatimaZahra, and every one of you, or just even me, what if I am the only one that exists, and what if I am the main character of a story and everyone else is just side stories? What if God has made me exist, but all of you are just people, are just programmed to make me think like there are some people. Now, I don't mean any offense, but this is a very interesting theory, because once you start thinking about it, you cannot prove that it's right, and you cannot prove that it's wrong. That's why it stays a theory. Now, I'm not asking you to believe in this theory. I'm not asking you to think that you're the center of the universe, but I'm simply asking you to believe in the message that this theory has. It's simply that you need to focus on yourself more. You need to be, I want you to be your main character. I want you to focus on yourself. I want you to take opportunities. I want you to think that your life is your time to shine. I want you to take opportunities, take chances, innovate, create. I want you to ask your crush out right after this conference. I want you to talk to that person that you've always been meaning to talk about. I want you to do everything that you've been meaning to do, because you don't know. You don't know if you're going to live tomorrow. And that's the message behind it. And another thing is that I want you to focus on yourself. I know most people don't do that, but I want you guys to focus on yourself, because you are and only you are your first priority, and no one else should be. You should be your first priority. You shouldn't prioritize anyone else over you. I know some people, they sacrifice their mental health, they sacrifice a lot of things for other people just for the sake of being nice, but that's not what I want you to do. I want you to be nice to yourself first. And I'll end my speech by a very interesting quote that says, once you start prioritizing others over yourself, you teach them that you always go last. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Awab, for this beautiful speech. Now we're gonna welcome our talented, brilliant pianist, Rita Sharqawi.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for the warm welcome. And thank you for the little surprise you threw me earlier, the members from the TED Club. We had a moment to chat, and it was really pleasant. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I feel actually such joy seeing youth, young people such as you, at this very young age doing things like these, participating in events and throwing events like these. And the talents that were here on this stage before me amazed me, actually. I'm so glad to be here with you guys, and I'm really amazed, and you deserve an applause. Like seriously, you guys are amazing. There was supposed to be a video playing before I come on the stage, so yeah, okay. I'm FatimaZahra Kablaoui. I'm a pharmacist, actually. I'm a CrossFitter too, a runner, a biker, like the girl who introduced me said. I like to present myself more as a CrossFitter, more than a pharmacist, because this is my passion. This is what I'm passionate about the most right now. It makes me feel alive. It makes me feel really happy, and it is really a hard thing to be happy nowadays, just genuinely happy. It makes me feel happy. It makes me, after like a long day of work and stress, I just go to the gym, to the CrossFit box, because this is how we call it, and I work out, and I go hard on the workout, and I end up lying on the floor, not being able to move or to breathe for a moment, but then right after that, I feel such joy, such happiness, because your body releases all the hormones of happiness. It makes you feel the rush of adrenaline, and I so love that feeling. I'm so passionate about this, and that's my passion. And actually, my dream is to keep up being healthy as I am today, and as strong, maybe more, to keep up doing what I'm passionate about the most in my life. That is my CrossFit journey. And also, my dream is to be able to keep participating in competitions and win them, and maybe one day represent my country in the International CrossFit Games. That is my dream. And here, as I stand in front of you today, I am sure this room is full of dreamers, many, many, many dreamers and passionates. All of you are passionate about something, and all of you have a talent. Each and every one of you have a talent. And maybe some of you might think, no, I haven't figured my passion yet. I'm not passionate, I have no talent. But no, you just haven't been inspired maybe, or just not pushed to actually discover your hidden talent and unleash it. Well, that's my dream, and I know you're dreamers as well. And actually, to get to your dream, you must go through many, many, many problems in your lives, and troubles and obstacles that you have to outcome and go through to reach your dream. And I wasn't actually, my speech was orientated a different way, but a girl from this audience reached out to me on Instagram like 2 days ago, and she was like, she spoke to me about some problems she's having in her life right now. She spoke to me about her parents' divorce and some problems she's facing. And as I saw before too, a lot of you guys on this stage spoke about pain and spoke about things that make you sad, or something they make you sad. And I want to give you an example of a real life experience that I lived. The girl who reached out to me is 15 years old, but as young as I was, like you once, I was like about 7, 8 years old, and I was younger actually, and my parents were going through a very long and nasty divorce for like, it lasted for 1.5 years. And at first I didn't know about it. I was always top of my class since I was a kid. I was always the first one in my class. Once our principal came to my class, and I was having a French class back then, I remember, she picked me and dragged me to the other groups from the same promotion. And she was like, she dragged me to the first class. It was a math class. They were having an equation on the blackboard, and nobody could have solved it. So she told me to solve it. I did, and then she told them this 7-year-old is going through a lot in her life right now. She's younger than you because I was younger than them back then. Back then I was younger. I always, I actually started school very early, 2 years younger than all of the other students, and she was like, she's going through a lot of problems in her life right now, and her parents are getting a divorce, and that was the first time I hear about that from her, from the principal, because my parents were very secretive about it, to keep us having a healthy life, because we still saw our dad. He was a doctor, he always was busy, but he still came to pick us up from school and take us to our extra scholar activities and all, so we didn't know. And that was the first time I knew from the principal. Anyways, I just wanted to give you this example because a lot of you are going through a lot of pain as young people right now, but I want to just tell you, as the time goes by, everything that you're feeling right now and all the pain you're feeling is just going to fade. You're not even gonna remember it after. As you have a passion, just pick a passion and just follow it, and everything will fade away. Like all the pain and everything will go away. And what time? What? Cool. All right. Thank you, thank you. So, my passion, that is CrossFit, it was unpredictable. Actually, I just followed my curriculum path. I was like trying to just keep up good grades as I grew up from primary school to secondary school to high school, and then I went to college and I graduated. I went there and I studied pharmacy, and I met there a lot of different international students. We just blended in, like all of us. I was like studying in English, so I was the only Moroccan in my class, and I blended in with a lot of other students coming from all different countries in the world. And we shared a lot of things together, we exchanged our cultures, and I tried many activities with them. I sang in my Somalian friends' events. I tried dancing too with my African friends. I tried a lot of things growing up, and I subscribed in a gym there back then. I started doing bodybuilding and running too, and actually it was just to keep up being healthy. And I didn't know anything about CrossFit back then until I came back to Morocco, and the first year and a half went by really amazing. I used to go to my internships and work small jobs, and I kept doing bodybuilding as a primary passion. It wasn't fulfilling or anything. I was just living the moment, waiting for my equivalents to start building my pharmacy and start doing what I had planned in my. Well, I had a plan. I had to follow it. Anyways, it really took some time, like a year and a half. I didn't get my equivalents. I started to fall back, and I started to feel empty. And then I met this guy who introduced me to CrossFit. And the first time, I didn't like it at all. Like, I went there, and I just didn't like it. It was exhausting, and I went back because as I saw him like speaking about it passionately and all, I went back and I did the first session, second session, third session, and I wasn't good at all. Like, I was far from being good at any movement or being perfect at any technique or anything. Like, I wasn't good at all. But like, I didn't give up. I wanted to like perfect some techniques and movements. And as the time went by, like the first month, yeah, that's when my coach asked me to actually compete. There was an open CrossFit Games, and I participated in it after 4 months of doing CrossFit. I wasn't that good, and yet I finished 12th in Morocco, which was pretty good for a beginner. And I liked that feeling, and I wanted to continue. And I, like day after day, I just gotten better at it, and I felt better doing it, and I felt joy when I compete and I participate in competitions, and I actually like have a good place after I end up a competition. For example, I began the first competition in my life, finished 12th, and right before COVID-19, I participated in another competition, and I finished 2nd. I was the second in the competition, the Moroccan one, and the first one was the French competitor, CrossFitter, very fierce. Third one was a German girl, and I tasted the win, and I just wanna continue, and I wanna win again. And like the competition that we have next is in 2 months, exactly in 58 days, and I'm doing everything I can. I'm going every day to the gym, doing long progs, only to finish first, to actually represent my country internationally. And I think I could win it this time. And if I don't, I'm just not gonna give up, because there was a first time, a second time, a third time, and a fourth time. And each time I'd be close to winning. And each time I don't give up and I continue. So yeah, that's about it right now. And en fait, sorry, I used a French word. What I want to tell you guys is that you're going to go through many problems in your life and many things that's going to drag you down and everything, but you just gotta push through it and just like continue dreaming and continue persevering and never give up. And if, for example, you find a passion right now, you follow it. It doesn't get you anywhere. You could always switch. You could always switch to another thing, and again another thing, until you find what you really truly love and what you feel comfortable doing, and like what makes you actually feel alive. And thing is, I want to say to you too, since you spoke about Instagram, that you saw me on Instagram. Actually, I want to tell you, because you're still young, all of you are still young, and I want to tell you that social media doesn't reflect the real life all the time, so you should be careful using it. Like all the people you see, not all of them, but like most of the people you see are just showing you perfect lives, and that they're always smiling, they're always happy, but the behind the scenes are not that like, they're not that good. So just don't be blinded and don't be clouded by social media. And I want you to choose your path and don't be clouded either by anything, either by your parents' expectations or by other people's, or some of you, for example, here in this audience, some of you are going to graduate high school and are going to graduate college and are going to find a job and going to get married, build a family and everything. Some of you are going to just graduate college and start working. Some of you are going to graduate maybe high school and do something else with their lives, and then after a few years go back to college and have a degree or something. I just want you to not be clouded by anything in your lives and just follow your path and your passion. And I want you to believe in yourselves and to focus on your path. And actually, it didn't go well as I wanted my speech, because I thought I was gonna go spontaneously on the stage and start talking. Anyways, I feel cold, that's why I'm a little bit shivering. I wanna end up my speech actually by doing something. I want you all right now to close your eyes. All of you, please. Close your eyes and empty your heads of everything and anything at all. I want you to picture your dream, the thing that you're passionate about the most right now. I want you to picture your dream and your dream only. And I want you to feel yourself getting there. I want you to feel yourself having what you always dream about. I want you for a moment to feel the joy and the glory of accomplishing that thing. And I guess it's worth all the struggle. Now I want you to say, I can and I will do anything in my power to get there. I can and I will, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get there.
Thank you so much, FatimaZahra, for this amazing speech and for sharing this with us. Allow me to tell you how inspiring I think this is. So now we are moving to something new, something that our brave students decided to do for the first time in this special events, which are the monologues. So please, let's all welcome our first monologue speaker, who will portray a character that floats and flies above the sky, experiencing the amazing feeling of freedom. Please, let's all welcome Safia Bendani.
I dream about flying, not really flying, but more like floating. Like the dream starts out, I'm running really fast, and the terrain keeps getting all rocky and steam, but I don't slow down. I just keep climbing higher with every stride, and before I know it, I'm floating. I'm going so fast, my feet don't even touch the ground. I'm up in the air and I'm free. It's an incredible feeling. Then I looked down, and the minute I do, everything changes. There I am, high in the air, floating. Then I looked down, and the minute I do, I felt completely alone. I wanted to go back, but I can't, because I'm dead now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Safia, for this. So now we will move on to another speaker who will represent a girl that suffers from schizophrenia. Please, let's all welcome Basma Boufous.
Oh dear. What happened to your arm? I cut it? That's very immature. Attention-seeking thing to do. They did give you relief. No! No! Did it relieve the tension? No! No! Did it give you relief? Did it give you relief? No! 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 I don't understand why you did that. Then ask! Ask! Did it relieve the tension? Can I look? No! 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 I would like to look to see if it's infected. No! 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 I thought you might do this. Lots of people do. Have you ever done it? No. Far too sane and sensible. I don't know where you read that, but it does not relieve the tension. Why don't you ask me why did I cut my arm? Would you like to tell me? Yes! Yes! Then tell me. Ask me why! Why did you cut your arm? Because it feels so great. It feels so amazing. Can I look? Yes, you can, but don't touch. And you don't think you're ill. No! 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 I do. It's not your fault. But you have to take responsibilities of your own actions. Please don't do it again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Basma. Your accent skills were really amazing. So move on to another speaker who will be showing us that there must be a light even in the darkness. Let's all welcome Hajar Shwaibi Qadoud.
Last week was so hard, Hajar. Too much stress, pressure. Do you remember when it was cold and raining at 10 p.m. and you were waiting for your dad in front of the supermarket? Then you saw near glowing lights of all colors. And because you're this curious girl, you went there. And suddenly, you discovered that it was only a pride to kidnap a poor child. Only a trap to kidnap a poor child. You were alone, but without being strong. So you had decided to save the guy, save a life, but you were the prey. They wanted you, in fact. Some strange man, all dressed in black and gray, kidnapped you. And you resisted. Yes. Until unfortunately, you woke up. Oh my God, another nightmare. You see what exam stress made you? What pressure made you? It made you confused. You have to take a rest. You have to be thankful because you're having holidays next week. But haven't you remembered? Haven't you remembered that there is no traveling? You can't see your friend, neither your family, a new virus, illness, sadness. But I can see a light there. It's shining, and I'm gonna catch it. I see a dream there. I love it, and it will become true. Thank you.
Thank you, Hajar, for this. So now we will move to another speaker who will be explaining the famous quote, "Greed is good," from the Wall Street movie. Please, let's all welcome Hajar Mustahfid.
Tedlar paper, Mr. Cromwell. Tedlar paper has 33 different vice presidents, each earning over $200,000 a year. Now I've spent the last 2 months analyzing what these guys do, and I still can't figure it out. What I do know is that our paper company lost $110 million last year, and I'll bet that the half of that was spent in all the paperwork going back and forth between all these vice presidents. The new law of evolution incorporates America seems to be survival of the unfittest. Well, in my book, you either do it right or you get eliminated. In the last 7 deals I've been involved with, there were 2.5 million stockholders that have made a pre-tax profit of 12 billion. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not a destroyer of companies. I'm a liberator of them. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirits. Greed in all its forms. Greed for life, for money, for love, knowledge, has marked the upward surge of mankind. And greed, you mark my words, will not only save Tedlar paper, but the other malfunctioning corporation called the USA. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hajar. So now it's time to take a short break with Sami Aitouf Khair, who is going to perform his beatbox solo. Please, let's all welcome Sami Aitouf Khair.
I wanna pull back, baby. I wanna bow back, I wanna bow back, I wanna bow back, baby. I look forward to the TED Club, seeing all these beautiful faces. Tonight to make history, yo, in Marrakesh, yo, with our teacher, Suhaili. I got you, I got got you. I got you. I got you.
Thank you, Sami, for this. Really enjoyed this break. So it's time now to get back to our second group of monologues, where we will introduce Ines Hadouche first, who's going to talk about believing in yourself. Please welcome Ines Hadouche.
You ain't gonna believe this, but you fit right here. I hold you up to say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody I ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you. Every day was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world. And you did, but somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody's gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now if you know what you're worth, then go wow and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying, you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always going to love you no matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood, you're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing yourself, you ain't going to have a life. Thank you.
Thank you, Ines. That was a really beautiful message. So now move on to another speaker who will be speaking about the importance of not giving up our dreams. Please welcome FatimaZahra Mufti.
Stand up. You have a dream. You have to stop at nothing to make that dream possible. It's alive in you. Anything you want in this life is possible. Say you want to be an actor, musician, dancer, athlete, entrepreneur. You be it, live it, and do it. Act on what is in your heart and soul. Don't wait and let time pass and slip through your fingers and live in regret. Do it now. Let's stand up. Listen to me. I've been knocked down all around my whole life. I've had people deeply dear to me rip my heart apart, and people I've looked up to and admired stomp me down. But I've always kept on moving. Because there is always a way to wiggle your way out of beneath someone's shoehold, especially if you're still moving. Because if you're still moving, you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, you can still have another charter at the back. Don't ever stop. It's so important for all of us to follow our dreams, to follow what we love to do and what we believe in. So stop listening to people telling you it can't be done, because actually, trust me, it can. Whatever that thing is inside yourself, act on it, please. Because as a matter of fact, the world needs you. It's your responsibility to take a chance, to give it and own it. And don't sit on it and waste it. Live your life. Take the hard knocks, the long rides, the hard drives. Because if you can move just 1 little millimeter toward it, you're that much more closer. You take a chance. You take a chance. When the world pushes you, You push back harder. You want it and you stand up. And when you get there, you work even harder and say, you were right, I did it. Thank you.
Thank you, FatimaZahra. So now we are going to welcome our next speaker who will be showing us that we are here for a specific reason. Please, let's all welcome Duet Nasiri.
Duet, I need you to understand that you are here for a reason. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes life can be difficult to navigate. It can break you down or challenge you in ways you never thought it would. But I also know that you have the potential to do incredible things in this world. You have the ability to overcome what is hurting you or confusing you or making you doubt yourself. I need you to believe in this. I need you to believe with the reckless abandon that you are meant to be here, that you are here for a reason. I need you to trust yourself. Even if you haven't figured out what inspires you deeply, even if you haven't discovered your purpose, even if you are moving forward in the simplest, smallest of way, just keep going. Wake up each morning, be gentle to yourself, do the work, feel whatever you need to feel, whatever you need to feel. Whatever you need to feel. Remind yourself of the art you want to create, of the people you have yet to see, of the places you have yet to see. Tuck beautiful memories into your chest. Revisit them whenever things get too tough. No matter what, just remind yourself that you are going to make it, that you are going to survive. All above else, you are going to heal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Duet. So it's time now to welcome our last monologue speaker, who will perform the standard scene from the famous movie Downfall. Please welcome Khadija Al-Alawi.
That was an order! Strader's attack was an order! How dare you ignore my orders? Is this where it has come to? The military has been lying to me! Even the SS! The Germans are no more than a bunch of disloyal cowards! Cowards, traitors, and incompetents! The generals are the scum of the German people! No sense of honor! You call yourself a general because you spent years at the academy where you only learned to use knife and fork. For years, the military obstructed me. All you ever did is thwart me. I should have had all the high-ranking officers executed as Stalin did. I never went to the academy, but I conquered all of Europe on my own. Traitors, 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 traitors! I've been betrayed and deceived from the start. Such enormous betrayal of the German people. But all these traitors will pay with their own blood. They will drown in their own blood. All my orders have been ignored. How can I be a leader under such circumstances? It's over. The war is lost. But if you think that means I'll leave Bahrain, you're wrong. I'd rather shoot a bullet through my head. It's over. Do what you want.
Thank you, Khadija. So now we will have our second break, but now with Ryan Hamraoui, musical performance, who will perform Titanium by David Guetta and Sia. Please let's all welcome him.
You shut it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much. I'm criticized, but all your bullets ricochet. Shoot me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, ricochet, you take your aim. Fire away, you shoot me down, but I won't fall. I'm titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I'm titanium. I'm titanium. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, this task of introducing our last guest of honor and speaker is a great privilege. He is an inspiration for all of us. He's an engineer and an entrepreneur. He is also the CEO and the founder of Eats.ma and WLC Marrakesh, a language school and a computer science training center. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Oussama Elkhamssi.
Thank you. You guys are amazing. Lot of talents, lot of energy, such positivity. You guys rock. Well, actually I prepared a PowerPoint presentation, but I don't think I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna just speak to you, like have some exchange. Listening to Miss FatimaZahra talking about CrossFit and sports, I felt ashamed because, you know, I have little belly. Well, I used to do sports, but not that much. And you know what I like to do? I like to eat. Yeah, true story. Fast food, slow food, very slow food. You know very slow food? Like Tangier. It is cooked overnight, so you should wait for it. And I said to myself, since you love eating, and I would like to go to a restaurant and eat, or just order by phone, and the problem is, I couldn't find the menus easily. And also, neither I could find the phone numbers, the locations. And I said to myself, why not gather all the restaurants I like and other people are looking for in a website? And Eats.ma started. It's just like this. You know, all this talk about passions and stuff, I truly believe that you can't find your passion. Your passions find you. You know, there is like a saying or proverb about, you know, الباطل in Darija, الباطل. It's like the passions are like الباطل. You don't find الباطل finds you. You know? It's like passions. And don't be afraid or don't be scared if you don't have passions. Oh my God, I don't have a passion. Everyone else has a passion. I don't have one. I should look for one. Your passions will find you. I didn't know I would become an engineer. I didn't know I would be an entrepreneur. It just came naturally, you know. When I was in junior high school, they said to me that you were good at math. You should do mathematics. I said, okay. I didn't even know what is the branch of mathematics is all about. So I said, okay, let's do it. After that, when I was baccalaureate student, you know, there is the preparatory classes. I didn't know they even existed. Like, I think I was aware of their existence until like the last month of the baccalaureate. And everybody was telling me, you will go for the preparatory classes? I was saying, what's that? I didn't even know what is it, what it was. I said, okay, let's do it. I did it. I spent 2 years. Then after 2 years, you will take a national exam, national test. I said, okay, let's take it. Now comes the school. Which school are you going to go to? I said, I don't know. What school are there? I chose computer sciences because I was passionate about technology. I was a student in a center at 7 years old. I was 7. We started like small programs, writing small piece of codes, doing stuff, most of the time playing. But I liked it. And I said, okay, we have engineering schools, we have the computer science branch. Let's go for it. I went. It wasn't that easy, but it wasn't that difficult. And it's all about life. Life is all about this. Life, it won't be easy. It will be hard. You will face challenges. You will face failures. And that's life. Deal with it. And I think that's also the beauty of life. If we didn't have challenges and if we didn't have failures, it will be boring, right? Life would be boring without challenges because we won't find our place in this life. Because when we face challenges, when there are problems, people might come to us and we may feel useful and important. We won't get bored. And about engineering, some of you want to be an engineer? Show of hands. Okay. Okay. Entrepreneurs? Some entrepreneurs among us? Nice. Good. And the good thing about being an engineer, especially a computer science engineer, when you have an idea in mind, when you can imagine a project, you can realize it. It's like magic, you know? Because all you need is a computer and some good internet connection. That's it, and your brain. If you can imagine it, you can code it, and you can show it to the world. As simple as that, okay? Who knows coding? Who codes here? Do you know coding? Coding, coding, coding. Ah, you know coding. Girls, coding, yes, yes. Ah, that's good. You study coding in school? No? No coding? So you just learned by yourself? Yeah, from YouTube, I guess, Coursera, Udemy, EDX, Hyperskills, Skillshare, etc. The fact is, we need entrepreneurs. And you know what? Because the world is changing so fast that what is true today might not be true tomorrow. So we need entrepreneurs. We need a lot of entrepreneurs, okay? In order for Morocco as a nation to become a developed nation, it needs entrepreneurs. And the entrepreneurs is you, all of you, okay? We need entrepreneurs. So, when I started it.ma and it succeeded, and it started ranking first in Google search, I said, that's really interesting. Can we have more it.mas? Can we have more entrepreneurs creating successful startups, successful companies. And the idea is to really create an ecosystem of creativity, of innovation, and of entrepreneurship. Okay? I think you may see all these programs on TV about entrepreneurs, about startups, right? I think what they do is give money. I truly believe that it's not a money problem. For a certain company, I don't believe that it's a money problem. I think it's a mindset problem. Because as I think Rob said, there is a usual path we should follow. Study, get a degree, get a job, get married, get a car, get an apartment, and that's it. Maybe in our parents' lives, that was good, that was okay, that was the standard. But I think for the future, that is not. Okay? That is not. During the pandemic, which companies did well? Delivery, online shops, food delivery. And if you see the Fortune 500 companies in the US, like Netflix, they skyrocketed. Amazon, Tesla, Facebook, Google, all technology company. Why? Because during this pandemic, we use technology a lot. Our habits are changing. We no longer go to shops to do shopping. We shop online. We no longer go to schools, not here in Morocco, but in developed countries like the US. They no longer go to universities. They take their courses online. And habits are changing, okay? And it will change rapidly. So in order to catch these changes, only one thing, we should invest in our youth. You should be able to take challenges. Some people speak about risk, right? It's risky, I shouldn't take risks, it's too risky. Let me define risk for me. Risk, as I define it, is when your life is at stake. Your life, your physical life. If you can be physically hurt, that's a risk. Anything else is an adventure. Anything else. See? You know the Russian roulette? When you have like bullet, that's risky. Don't do it. Everything else, entrepreneurship is not risky. It's an adventure. It's exciting. It's motivating. Okay? So, about this ecosystem, so we try to diagnose what are the problems. So first, we saw it's not a money problem, okay? Because many companies like Facebook, Amazon, Google, they started with less than $1,000, like 10,000 dirhams. So money isn't an issue here. About incubators, we have a lot of incubators here and there and coach and stuff. That was not the problem. The problem is in the mindset. We don't learn to be entrepreneurs. Okay? We don't learn about being entrepreneurs. And the idea behind the WLC is we wanted to stay in the education business and also to help create this ecosystem. We wanted the younger generation to have this reflex, to be, to face challenges, to accept challenges, to do really exciting things. You know Elon Musk? I think you know them. You know him. He's an amazing guy. One of his companies, I think you know it, is SpaceX. SpaceX is about rockets. And in Morocco, if someone wants to make fun of you, he tells you, what are you doing? You are launching rockets? That's what we say here in Morocco. Yet, Elon Musk one day He woke up and he said to himself, I want to launch rockets. And guess what? He did. And now he is launching rockets. And NASA is asking him to launch rocket for her. That's ironic. Imagine yourself waking up tomorrow and telling your parents or your friends, I want to launch rockets. What would happen? Good thing they closed Boya Omar. So, if you want to follow your passion, first, don't try hard to find your passion. Passions will find you, okay? And don't see entrepreneurship and this word as a risk. Take it as an adventure. It's very exciting because there is no monotony, you know? The things you do tomorrow are different from the things you did yesterday and different from the things you did today. And that's amazing. Because when you are on a payroll, on a paycheck, it becomes boring. And especially when you are an engineer, it becomes boring because engineers need challenges. And engineering is not a degree. Okay? Don't be fooled. Engineering is not a degree. What is engineering? Engineering is the ability to solve problems. That's it. That's engineering. It's solving problems. So if you have an engineering degree in computer sciences or in civil engineering, that's just a way of saying that you are able to solve problems. And whatever life throws at you, you can solve it. I know a lot of engineers who have bakeries, who have shops, who are selling toys, and they are good at it, okay? Engineering is about problem solving. That's it. It's not a degree. And degrees, because I think most of you are baccalaureate students, right? You will soon be facing higher education. Let me tell you something right now. Degrees are obsolete. Degrees are irrelevant. That's the truth, okay? It's about your skills. It's about what you know to do. Focus on those. And knowledge is all over the place. It's not like before. Today you can have like a virtual degree from practically any university. You can just watch YouTube videos, okay? Thank you guys. It was an amazing afternoon. I don't know if we have like time for Q&As. If you have any questions, maybe you have some few minutes, or some you planned other things. Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much for sharing this information and experiences with us. Now, the friendship between these two actresses is very special. Please welcome FatimaZahra Kablaoui and Aya Snhaji.
All right, I'll catch you later. I'm gonna talk to her right now.
Oh, hi, how are you?
You are such a hypocrite.
Okay, that's what I get for being nice.
Yeah, because that's obviously what you do best, being nice.
Man, what have I done this time?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Stop acting so innocent.
No, I don't. Just get to the point. This is getting annoying.
Why would you just go around telling people fake things about me, trying to ruin my reputation? How pathetic is that?
And how self-centered and narcissistic can you be? Thinking that everything is about you? The world does not revolve around you, Spencer. I never spread any rumors about you. I don't care about your personal life.
No one except you knew about that thing. That is because I trusted you. I never expected things to turn up like that. I have never been this deceived or hurt by someone who I thought was my friend. How could you do this to me? I trusted you. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, look at you playing the victim's role and blaming me for something I didn't even do. Calling me a liar? You should seriously seek some help. Your emotions are getting out of control, and I am so done with your stupid drama.
Right. If you didn't want to have anything to do with my stupid drama, you shouldn't have started it in the first place. I honestly thought you were...
You thought I was what? Don't give me that, oh, I'm so wise speech. You should know that the reason our relationship turned out this way is your trust issues. Now you're blaming me for ruining our friendship? You should...
Wow, what an amazing performance. You really are a hypocrite, aren't you? This isn't going anywhere. I can't take this ironic conversation anymore. You are just trying to attack me using my weaknesses, and then you're blaming me for ruining our friendship? I am so done with this.
Oh, so am I. You are such a hopeless case.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this amazing performance. Now, the next speakers are going to talk about something we do almost every day, which is complaining. Every day we make complaints, whether it's a polite note or not. Please welcome Firdaus Boulamain and Kinza Kebab.
Give me the other mic. Give me the other.
We have a math test tomorrow, and we aren't ready yet. Oh my God, we're gonna fail the test. Oh my God, we're gonna fail the test. Can we repeat? We have a math test tomorrow.
Yes.
And we aren't ready yet.
Yes.
We might fail the test.
Oh my God, yes.
Being a student is so difficult.
It's like not easy at all.
I am tired of all these finals.
Girl, same. I'm tired of school.
I can't take it anymore.
This educational system is like so bad, I don't get to rest. I really need to sleep.
My parents expect so much from me when I already do my best.
Why life should be like that?
Hold on a second. My feet hurts.
Why does pain exist and why do we have to endure it?
You know, this makes me wonder. Does happiness even exist?
I have no idea, but I'm sure that my happiness right now is pretty inexistent.
What's the point of living anyway without constant happiness?
I'm
so tired of life. I'm like so excited to die. Ooh, I like that. Finally. Venting things out is very therapeutical for me.
Yay, it's your living. That was great, not gonna lie.
Complaining is like thinking out loud.
With no filter.
Today, in this talk,
we're going to introduce to you the passion of our lives, complaining.
Why do complainers complain?
Why does it feel good?
And why is it beneficial for us?
In a word that proclaims gratitude and recognition, complainers are constantly seen as the black sheep of society.
The world will constantly tell you, why would you complain when there are people who have it much worse?
But we solemnly believe.
No, we insist
that your feelings matter and your opinion matters too.
Minimalizing your feelings are like saying you don't matter, but you do, and it's normal to have a whole range of emotions.
Real people aren't blowing bubbles, dancing in the rain, singing somewhere over the rainbow 24 out of 7. Sometimes you just sort of meh, and it's okay to be that.
Now that we normalize this, why do complainers complain?
Well, there are plenty reasons.
Complaining brings us to common ground. It validates our thoughts and connects us.
It relieves us of some of the burden of being perfect. There are reasons we can't be.
And finally, sometimes life is just hard and we can't always be sunshines.
One of the biggest things that happens when we share our roller coaster moments is giving others an opportunity to also share.
Suddenly, it's okay for them to share thought things, to be open.
Honest.
And not to try to deal with their own emotions.
If you could feel that way, then maybe they aren't crazy. Their feelings are valid too.
We are all dealing with something. One day, our biggest issue is feeling like we are underprepared for tomorrow's math test. And the next, it's feeling like the third wheel of a friend group.
And the next is being deceived by our own expectations or being the main character of a disastrous tragedy. Each moment is hard in a different way.
think of complaining as a catharsis. Some people just need to do it to make their feelings heard. I can't say it's any better, so let us share this thought of Simone Seal.
Characterizing something as a first word problem is often a way of suggesting that it's not worth really talking about at all. And if such problems are not worthy of our attention, we would lose a great deal of philosophy and art.
In fact, some of our greatest works are born due to observations that are seemingly frivolous. The minutiae of life is where great drama is born and great wisdom derives. We learn, we grow. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your problems are, we're all going through something. And that's a part of what makes us in the human experience.
It teaches us to have empathy for others.
It reminds us to embrace the good moments.
It allows us to be gentle with ourselves, not to expect perfection.
So feel what you feel. Have your moments before you simply brush it off.
Thank you.
Can you stay on?
Everyone, please wish a happy birthday to Kinza Kebab. This was a really beautiful speech. Now the other group's gonna treat a very interesting topic, which is enjoying the moment, and which means not worrying about the future and forgetting the past. Please welcome Rania Gnawi and Yasmin Moomin.
Hi guys. So, do you ever wake up in the morning in the cold breeze, get up actually freezing from the cold weather, and wonder what it would be like if it was just a little bit warmer? You murmur to yourself, oh damn, I wish it was autumn. The weather would be cozier, waking up to school wouldn't be such a struggle, and life would have been so much fun and enjoyable this way.
And then, months later, spring came. But despite its beautiful vibes, you kind of miss winter. You miss going out, finding that it was snowing, and playing in that snow with your friend, cuddled on your puffy jacket. Or even staying at home, a blanket on your shoulder, hot chocolate on your hand, enjoying the peace of it all.
But then again, summer knocks at your door. It was hot and comfortable. The weather was dry. You felt thirsty and were sweating every now and then. You said to your mom, Mom, I wish it was spring. Life would have been so much easier.
Well, we all know what comes after summer. It's autumn. And as you did before, you sit there wishing it was another season rather than enjoying the current one. And like that, days go by, months go by, years go by, and you keep doing the same mistake every time.
See, in this example, life is the seasons you go through every day. And like the seasons, you only realize the value of each one until you don't have it anymore. So what do? You regret not enjoying every second, every moment, every feeling of it all.
Don't take life for granted. You only live once, so enjoy every season, every chapter in it. And as teenagers, don't waste your time on things that don't matter. Your youth with people who don't care.
Stop procrastinating and actually do your work.
Believe in your capacities now more than ever.
Stop going on your phone so much and focus more on the real world.
Take risks and experience new things.
Stop daydreaming all the time and keep up with your friends and family because they need you.
Love yourself and make the best version of you.
And finally, stop wishing for a better future, a better past, and make your present a better time.
love, love, and live, love everybody. Life is easier when you're having fun.
And fear nothing, guys, because believe me, every season is beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this valuable speaking. Now, the next speech is about friendship. This relationship between two people who trust each other, help each other when they are in trouble. Please welcome Zainab Sidihida and Malak Khula.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, one day a friend of mine asked me about what is friendship and what are friends for. So I didn't say anything. I just gave him a rock and asked him to sell it at a market. And if someone asked him about the price, he just raises 2 fingers without saying any word. Well, indeed, he went to the market, and then a woman came to him and asked him about the price. Well, he raised 2 fingers, and she gave him $2 and took the rock. Well, he came to me, and I gave him another time a rock and asked him to sell it this time at a museum. Well, at this time, a man came to him and asked him about the price. He did again the same thing, and this time he gave him $200. Well, he came to me like happy. He gave him $200, and I didn't say anything. I just gave him another time another rock, and this time he should sell it at a precious stone store. Well then, he did what I told him to. And the owner, when he saw the rock, like he was surprised. It's a rare rock. Then he asked him about the price. He did again the same thing, but this time he gave him $200,000. Well, he came to me shocked and also happy, like he gave him $200. Well, after this moment, he started wondering, why did I do all of this? Why I told him to do this? And what's the purpose behind all of this? Well, then, I told him that the value of this stone means the people you surround yourself with. Because actually, believe it or not, our life depends on the people we surround ourselves with. And what I mean by the people, I mean friends. Like, friends, they should be always here for you. Like, each one of us have a diamond inside of him. So we should choose the friends we surround ourselves with wisely, so they can discover this diamond inside of us. They will always be here for us, and they will do anything for us, no matter the situation is.
As for me, I would like to tell you about another story. There were 2 friends named Sam and Jason. One single day, while they were on their way to Boston City, they met with an accident. The other morning, while Sam was still lying unconscious, Jason woke up with blind eyes. The doctor was looking at the reports of Sam when he woke up. The doctor was looking at him with benevolent eyes as Sam was diagnosed with blind cancer. It's exactly when he decided to donate his eyes when he dies, as well as asking the doctor not to disclose anything to Jason. As time passed by, their friendship started to worsen gradually, and Jason started avoiding Sam as he thought it's worthless to have a friend who will die in few days. Sam, on the other hand, he was depressed and died soon after. Jason came on his burial, where he was offered with a letter by the doctor. It read that by Sam. He said, I want to donate my eyes for you, Jason, when I will die. I hope that you forgive me for being so useless. It drove tears to Jason's eyes, and he started crying and crying and crying, and he remembered those beautiful days where they used to be together. The moral that I personally got is that no matter what you do to your friends, they will always be present for you in your bad and hard times.
Well, I would like to sum up my speech by saying that true friends will not always be there just when you have like a rosy life. Rather, when you are passing through a tormenting phase, if you find someone beside you, he's only a genuine friend. Love of your friend will always be unconditional. They may expect nothing from you, but show their love to you always.
Friendship is a divine word. Treasure it. Crave for it in life if you don't have one. Try to find out the one. It's like our guiding stars. They are always around us. We need to have the eye to search the one out from the crowd. If you have one, someone likewise, it's already a gift for you to take care of in the rest of your life. If not, he's just somewhere around, just for you to figure him out.
And as Elizabeth Foley said,
the most beautiful discovery true friends make is that they can grow separately without growing apart. Thank you.
What a meaningful speech. Thank you so much. Now, I want you all to welcome Harash Abir and Zineb Al-Faqih.
Meet your coach to your ultimate glow up.
Meet your guides to your best self.
Hi, I'm Zainab.
Hi, I am Abir.
And we're here to show you how you can become the person you always wanted to be. And no, we ain't no genius or fairy here. We have no secret potion to drink or spell to cast. Still, what we do have is an experience to share. I have been going from a person who wasn't satisfied, who was worth so much more and could create a life she was proud of.
I have been improving to become the person I always manifested.
We have been growing into a person we now love and adore. We have been becoming a person we fantasize about her life for endless nights and idolized for years. As you may have guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about our change today. Don't give us the judgy look. We ain't that narcissistic or selfish, and we will show you how you can level up your lives. Buckle up your seatbelts, grab your pens, and here goes the ultimate level up 101.
Here we go. Step number one. Well, take care of your emotions, or shall I call it emotional declutter. What I ask you to do is to stop hiding your feelings and pushing them away for days until one day, boom, they are surfacing, and then you'll cry yourself to sleep. Is that good for your mental health? I'm sure it is not. So what I advise you, dear audience, to validate and start treating your feelings as they come.
Hear me out. It is okay to feel bad. It is okay to feel sad, alone, lonely, or depressed.
If I had a chance to share only one secret of mine, it would be self-love. And no, I'm not about to repeat what every video about self-improvement tells you. I'm here to talk about my own experience and what I've learned from it. Love yourself. Love every bit. Love how you love when you make silly mistakes. Love how thoughtful and kind you are. Love how you laugh at your own not that funny jokes.
Let's move on and stretch ourselves just a little bit to reach step number 2. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. I can't believe I am the one saying these words, acting all tough and wise, talking to an audience which has always been one of my greatest fears. And yes, my anxiety is very much childish. She does be playing me and only hitting at these moments. So I make sure to push her back, yelling a little louder. How can I grow if I were stagnant? not leaving that little bubble I created around myself to feel safe. Sadly, I gotta admit it, stepping into the best version of ourselves requires us to put ourselves into uncomfortable situations. Say yes to life. You will hate me for it sometimes, but it's good for the most part, I promise.
Now, let's move on to step number 3. Well, it's truly sad to know that there's very few people that knows about this. I've met 3 people in my whole life, 3 people that share this strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to hear right now is the secret of life. The secret that no one has ever told you about. Well, like you, I'm feeling generous today. That's why I'm going to share it with you. And it is the last step, a very crucial one. That's why we left it to the end. Okay, here we go. Law of attraction. Shows you how your thought can become your reality. Well, I see the confusion on your faces. That's why I'm going to explain more. Our minds are magnets. You know that thing that you want really badly? Could be a phone, a car, to lose weight, a guy, a girl, whatever it is. When I tell you it's actually so easy to get those things, it's kind of unbelievable. But all you have to do is just look at it. Look at it. Believe that it's actually yours. Look at it and say that you deserve it. Believe that you are going to get it. And watch how quickly that thing will come to your life. We, and all of you hold so much power we don't know about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this interesting speech. Now, what is fear? Fear is an emotion, a powerful human emotion. It implies anxiety and loss of courage. But how we can overcome it? That's what we're gonna know with Sumaya Bouiyad and Normuin.
"2011, first day of school. Hearts were filled with excitement, eyes with joy. Everyone was excited to meet his new friend. But there she was, quiet, calm, and peaceful. Oh, she must be a new girl.
Sitting in the corner, head filled with thoughts. I was waiting for someone to make the first move. Then I noticed a silhouette coming my way. I started freaking out. Should I run? What if they don't like me? No, it'll be fine. No, I think it's better to hide. Oh no, too late.
Hi, you must be new here. I'm Sumaya, by the way. What about you?
I'm Noor.
And here we are, 10 years later,
standing on the same stage,
pursuing the same dreams.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, the first time I stopped to look fear in the eyes. The first time I managed to confront one of my fears, the fear of being judged.
What is your relationship with your fear?
Have you ever felt like you are in a constant battle, trying to dominate or be dominated?
It is natural to be afraid, and sometimes our fear helps us avoid something harmful.
But it's mostly triggered by something that stretches our comfort zone. And while getting out of our comfort zone is, well, uncomfortable, it is necessary.
Just think of how many wonderful opportunities you have missed out on in your life just because you were scared of change.
We should all start to live before we get too old. Don't let your fears prevent you from going outside of your shell and trying new things.
It is if you limit your actions and interactions to things that make you comfortable, trust me, your life experience would be too narrow.
We're no saints either, because just 2 to 3 minutes ago, before coming up on this stage, we were literally shaken.
We still are, by the way.
But We were just scared of looking silly or making a mistake, but what's life without a little risk?
Here we are, standing in front of you, doing our best in order to be one of the best, maybe. Yes, we are still lacking in many aspects, but isn't that what we're here for? We are here to learn.
Yes, we are here to learn, but we are not able to realize that right now, today, we are okay, and we are still alive. But we can't realize all of that.
Because our fear keeps us stuck in a past that is already gone, or worried about a future that is yet to come.
Yes, of course, this is right, but by delivering this speech, we are hoping that you will realize that your fear is a part of you.
It isn't an outside force invading your mind. So we, all of you, we are the ones who must confront our fears.
We must come face to face with them, because you know what? No one will do it for you, because no one can.
And no one cares, actually.
As cliche as it may sound, how we handle our fears will determine the rest of our lives.
So either you take on the adventure,
or you get limited by the fear of it.
The choice is yours. And just remember that at the end of the road, we are all going to die. So as Steve Jobs once said,
remembering that I'll be dead soon was the best tool I've ever encountered to help me make the biggest decisions in my life.
Almost everything, all external expectations,
all pride,
all fear of embarrassment and failure.
These things just fall away in the face of death,
leaving what is truly important.
Thank you.
Here I am back again on this stage. I would like to thank our guests so much. Thank you so much for coming, and we are so honored to have such successful and thriving people here listening to us. I also would like to thank everyone who participated in this event, including Mr. Hussam, who helped making this event, of course. I would like to thank our speakers and our singers and our talented people in the club, because God, I said they were really inspiring and motivating people. So yeah, thank you all so much for coming. And I would like to tell Mr. Oussama and Mr. Hussam and Miss FatimaZahra Kablaoui to come join us on stage.
Hello again. Oh man, this is blinding. Okay. She's coming. Dear guest speakers, Mr. Oussama, Ms. FatimaZahra, thank you so much for answering the call again. You honored us with your presence. We enjoyed your speeches. They were enlightening. And thank you, dear students, for showcasing your amazing talents, public speaking talents, singing as well as piano, of course. Thank you so much. We've enjoyed every single performance. We've enjoyed every single special speech from our guest speakers. Rob, who is not here with us, but who's planning a virtual event with all of you in the near future, maybe after the holidays. We'll talk about that. He wants to meet you. He wants to talk to each one of you. He enjoyed your speeches, the ones he watched on Instagram, and he's going to enjoy these ones as well, I'm sure. Thank you so much. And now, just as a token of gratitude, I mean, we can't thank you enough for making the time for us. So this is just a small gesture, if you would like to accept it.
No handshaking because COVID.
You should give me those. Thank you so much, and we would like to have you again with us in the future.